I am Josephina Perez, mother of Daisy Margaret Link.
Daisy Link's your daughter.
Mhm.
Do you have another daughter?
Yes, I have several daughters. Crystal Jane Barreto is my daughter, and Gloria Gonzalez is my daughter,
Okay.
and Valentina Perez is my daughter, and my granddaughter that you just saw in here. My granddaughter is Laylene Yasmin Gonzalez.
You speak a little soft, I'm just gonna have to keep your voice up, okay?
Okay, sorry about that.
You reside, where do you reside?
I reside within the state of Texas.
Back in 2022, did you also reside in the state of Texas?
Yes, I did.
Now, I want to direct you to around June 20th of 2022. Did there come a time around then where you traveled from Texas to come down here to
Yes,
Florida?
yes, I did.
What caused you, without telling me what anyone told you, what happened that caused you to come down here from Texas back then?
I saw some photos of my daughter Daisy with her head bashed in, covered in blood. She had a giant scrape on her neck. She had a giant bruise on her arm, and the message, whoever got it, when they gave it to me, it said,
So remember, we're not saying right
okay,
now
sorry about that,
what
ma'am.
someone else told you, but you observed photos and then you came down to Miami.
Right, but there was like a little text with it, and all it said
You
was,
observed photos and text.
yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
We'll ask the next question.
So these photos, exhibit B and C, defense exhibit B and C, are these two of the photos that you saw which preceded you coming down here from Texas?
Yes. Mhm.
All right. So what were you looking to accomplish when you were coming down here?
I was supposed to be, what I was looking to accomplish when I arrived before my original date was to remove her and the children to safety immediately. We had already had plans to do that. I just had to, do it at an earlier date because of this.
Now, when you say you already had plans to do that, what are you referring to?
I was supposed to come instead in like around July the 4th. And once we had all the stuff packed and the children would already be out of school, that she was going to leave with us, and
Go ahead.
and Mr. Jimenez wasn't going to know about that. It was just going to be on a random date, and he wouldn't have known.
So that plan was already in place for around 4th of July.
Right?
correct?
Yeah, we were coming for 4th.
But you were looking to implement that plan earlier. Is that
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And what caused you to do that was finding out what happened here?
Right.
All right, so you come down here. What happens when you come down here?
I arrived, well, as you know, I received a message about with these photos, and I
Let me
arrived,
stop you for a second. Without telling me what the messages were, who were these messages from?
my daughter Crystal.
Your daughter, Crystal.
Mhm.
When you traveled down here, did anybody other than Crystal know that you were coming down here?
No, nobody, well, on my end, yes, on my family side, yes, but not nobody on this
You
end.
didn't inform anybody that you were coming down, you just came down? Is that
Right.
correct?
Mhm.
All right, so you come down, and what happens when you get down?
Well, like I said, I arrived within hours, like I arrived at 5 a.m. And I had Crystal's husband pick me up at the airport, drop me off at Crystal's house, and he had to go to work. And I saw Daisy later in the afternoon. She didn't know I was here. I didn't want no one to know I was here.
You didn't want her to know you were here?
No, I wanted to see what was really going on. I want to observe. So when when she came, I saw her. Yes, I did see the physical open wounds on her head. She had a giant bruise on her arm. She had a scrape, like a mark here. And I told her, you know, that's it. We have to get out of here now. And I need you to, we're gonna pack everything up and we're just gonna leave.
Now, I want to fast forward to the night, the last night that you saw Pedro Jimenez.
Mm-hmm,
You know the night I'm talking about?
mm-hmm.
All right. So let's start off from the beginning of that day. When do you first see your daughter Daisy, or when do you first go to her house that day?
I arrived at 1:30,
In the afternoon?
right.
Okay. And what, all right, so what do you do? What do you observe?
I sent her a text and I told her that I was here, you know, at her place. And she said, okay, I like more or less, I'm not gonna be specific. I can't remember word for word. I'm on my way.
Okay.
So,
Now you said around 1:30 p.m.?
yeah, in the afternoon, yes.
All right, do you recall approximately when it was that you finally left Daisy's home that night, or that later that day?
Around like between 1:30 to 2 a.m.
1:30 to 2 a.m.
Right, somebody picked me up, so.
All right, so you were there for around 12 hours.
Right, but not at her house, exact. I was with her, but I went to my other daughter's house too, with her.
So during that day, during those 12 hours,
Mhm.
you were with Daisy for those 12 hours, but you weren't necessarily in the same spot. You went,
Right,
at some point, you went to Crystal's house, right?
Gloria's house.
Gloria's house,
Mhm.
your other daughter,
Yeah.
and you came back.
Mhm.
Do you recall around what time it was that you went to Gloria's house and when it was that you came back to Daisy's house?
Not exactly. I know it was nighttime when I left. And I think it was still daylight because the children were playing outside. So I would say like, I can't say exactly, maybe 10, 10:30, 11, between 10:30, 11, we left from Gloria's house.
To go back to Daisy's house?
Yes.
Did you have a chance to see Pedro Jimenez that day,
That night, yes.
that night? You didn't see him prior to the evening?
Just when I arrived at 1:30.
Okay, what did you observe when you arrived at 1:30 p.m.?
Yeah, in the daytime, I was sitting in the SUV with my daughter Crystal. We were waiting for her,
Waiting for who?
Daisy.
Okay. Go ahead.
And Pedro came out of the vehicle with her, and he had this look of shock, like he couldn't believe I was there. Oh, and then I told him, you know, why did you lie to me?
Go ahead. You told him.
I told him, why did you lie to me? You know, you're saying that Daisy's trying to hurt you and stuff, and what did you do? Why did you do that to her? You did that to her. She didn't do anything to you. Why did you do that? So he said, I haven't touched her since 2016. So I should get some.
Objection, narrative. It's the same. He's gonna ask another question. And motion and then judge, maybe go sidebar. No, it's the same. We're moving on.
All right, so you have an interaction with Pedro, okay? And he was there. Did he leave at some point?
Yes.
Around when did he leave?
You mean like after I said something to him? Or
I mean,
what
after
time?
that interaction, did he,
In like 30 minutes, 3 men came and they picked them up.
3 men came and picked up Pedro?
Right, he doesn't have a car, so.
Okay. All right, so he left.
Mhm.
And when was the next time that you saw Pedro after he left with those other men?
I saw him that night. I don't know the exact time, maybe 11 something, going to 12. He wasn't she was supposed to take him directly home. He doesn't have a car. And she said, I'm going to take Pedro home. And
When you say she, you're talking about?
Daisy said she was gonna take Pedro home, so he won't come over, because if he comes, then we're gonna have a problem. So let me give him a ride home. And I told her, okay, go.
Objection, narrative, hearsay. Ooh. You almost done with the thought.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that, and then I sent her to the store, and he did come instead of going straight home.
So Daisy came back with Pedro to Daisy's house.
Right.
Now, once he's there, do you observe any interactions or altercations between Pedro and your daughter Daisy?
Yes.
Okay, what did you observe?
First, he choked her for a reason, a conversation that they had, and her response made him very, very angry. And then I told him, I'm going to call the police. The second observance was
Hold
when.
on, before we get to the second.
Okay.
What, if anything, did Pedro do when you told him that first time, I'm going to call the police?
He said, don't call the police on me or I'll lose my career. I'm leaving. And then he ran out the door.
He ran away?
Yes.
Do you know where he went?
No.
Okay.
It was inside the house, so I don't know.
Did he come back at some point?
Yes.
All right, when did he come back?
About maybe 15, so many minutes later, I was with her sitting out front by the AC unit. That's the front door. So I turned my head around, and Mr. Jimenez stuck his arm in the door, in the window. There's a broken window that is punched out. And he unlocked the door and went inside, started knocking things over. And then Daisy opened the door in the front. They have like one door is on this side, one is on this side. And she said,
Objection, hearsay. Ooh.
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead. She said, get out of my house. Give me my stuff back.
Now, she said, get out of my house. Did Pedro live there, as far as you know?
No, but he would just stop by, like when you have your time out from the truck driving.
Right.
Yeah, he would just show up. So
I just want to ask you some follow-up.
Mhm.
You said that he stuck his hand through a broken window and unlocked the door?
right.
So was he outside and he stuck his hand into the house to unlock the door from the outside? Is that?
Right, I'm sitting at the front window, so I see the door. I see him put his arm in. He's turning the knob, like little knob that you have there. And so I just turned around to Daisy real quick and I said, hey, he's coming in through the back door.
Objection, hearsay, narrative. Overruled. That's the end of her question. Her answer, you can ask the next question.
All right, so he came in, he started knocking things down, and then he was told to leave, is that right?
Yeah, I told him, no, I didn't tell him. She told him, get out of my house now, get out of here. And he grabbed her purse that had her cell phone in it. It was a red purse. And she had like a pint of whiskey on top of the stove that she had bought, And so he took it and he ran out the back door.
Okay. Did you see where he went?
No. Actually, we weren't trying to cause a problem with him. That was the whole point that she made.
Well, there's no pending question. The question was, I'm sure you want to know.
No.
I was going to ask him a question.
All right. At some point, does he come back, and if so, when?
The third time he came back, it wasn't that he came back, he was hiding in the alley behind the truck.
Let me stop you. If you remember, this third time, do you know more or less what time this was?
No, we were sitting outside, like in the front by the front door.
Is it dark already?
Yeah, it's dark.
Okay, all right, so the third time, you were saying?
I didn't know it was him at first. It's like really dark and it's a shadow. Like, you can see someone standing there. So I said, I said, Pedro, is that you? Pedro. And then he moved and he came towards me and then he laughed. He was saying he was gonna tell me some stuff,
Okay.
some stuff about Daisy.
Okay, is there any other physical altercation that occurs at that point or after that point?
Then the last one was when, she went to the back. We thought he was gonna be gone by then. And then, she said, I'm gonna look over. She went to the alley to see if she could see her purse thrown there since she kept standing around the alley. So I told her, let's wait till the morning. She goes, no, just in case all my things are in there, like my cards, my phone. Let me see if it's there. And then he came, I'm trying to figure, from this way. I don't know east, west, or north. It was dark out, but he went like this and he saw her and he came running like this and he clotheslined her. You know, like when you go like this and knocked her back. And then he said some cuss words and grabbed her by her hair and then hit her like this, you know, like you pick someone up and he put her face on the,
You saw
it's like
him
a
do this?
gravel. Yeah, I could see him. And I told him, now I'm not playing with you. I'm gonna call the police for sure. And he didn't say a word to me. He ran away. He left. That was it. He ran off.
Is that the last time you saw him?
That's the last time I saw him. Yes.
Okay. So that was the last time you saw him. Before that, if you know, how many times was he told to leave, either by yourself or by your daughter?
Many, like, the parts that I didn't discuss with. She was saying, leave, get out of my house. Oh, maybe about 5 times between the both of us.
Okay. All right, so that was the last time you saw him. He left. At some point, you leave Daisy's house as well, correct?
Right, I left later, much later, about, like I told you the time.
How long after this last time that you saw him was it that you left?
Maybe 30 minutes. And I looked around, I didn't see him anywhere, so I told her, you know, I'm gonna go home. I'm tired, and, you know, I discussed it with my other daughter. I said, I need a ride home. You know what? I don't want to be around this stuff. I told him to go, and hopefully he'll stay gone until the morning. We can figure out what's wrong.
Okay. And what was the plan for the following day?
We were supposed to have a barbecue, since I had just arrived, and then we were gonna plan, you know, like basically her escape without him knowing. Like I told her, you know, we can't let him know anything. And so that was our plan for the next day.
Okay. But then at some point, not long after that, you ended up going back to Daisy's house, correct?
In the morning, after the police called me.
The police called you?
Yeah, they told me that to come get the children and get them away, so I did.
Okay. If I can just have a moment, Your Honor. Judge, that's all the questions I have at this time. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms.
Good
Perez.
afternoon, ma'am.
I want to talk about the story that you said on direct examination.
Objection to characterization. Move to strike.
Yes, Judge. So you mentioned on direct examination that you told Pedro on the night of the incident, get out. Did I say that right?
That I said to him?
Yeah, that's what you testified to. I
What-
just want to make sure I
Wait a
heard you
minute,
right.
because I gotta make sure. At what point, the first time, the second, or the third? Because I said different things.
So you tell Miss Perez.
Mhm.
did you, on direct examination,
Mhm.
testify that you told Pedro on the night he was shot to get out of the house?
I told him to leave.
Okay, you told him to leave.
Right,
You remember giving a deposition.
right.
The state was there. The state attorney was there.
Will there be a difference, the word leave and get out? I don't, there was,
So,
we
Ms.
kept,
Perez, my questions,
if you're saying leave or get out, we said it so many times. I could make a mistake and say I said one thing or the other, but we did say it.
I understand, Ms.
Okay.
Perez. I don't want you to make a mistake here today, though. So I'm gonna ask it again, okay?
Mhm.
Did you testify on direct examination that you told Pedro on the night he was shot
Mhm.
to leave the house?
Can you refresh my memory? Can you reread that to me? Like, what was the question and the deposition?
Ms. Perez, so is it that you did say it, or is it that now you're not remembering? So
No,
wanna
I
be
know
clear.
what I said.
Okay, so
ma'am.
did you say it?
However, on the day of the deposition, you had a
Ms.
mic
Perez, I don't
problem,
want to-
so I want to make sure that,
I understand, Ms.
Okay.
Perez, but my question is,
I've asked
Very
that you allow
clear.
the witness to finish his answer, please.
Sustain. Finish your answer. We're not gonna go in back and forth, okay?
right, I just don't know if that was the time that the mic kept going out.
sorry, Ms. Perez, go ahead.
What I was saying was that when I was being depositioned, the mic kept cutting in and out. So every time I would get a question, it could have been the beginning of one question and the end of another.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking you, at what point are you stating that I said to leave?
So I'll ask my question very specifically and
Mhm,
you can answer, okay?
Okay,
Did you say, right now, as your testimony in court,
right.
did you say that you told Pedro to leave the house on the night he was shot? At any point, did you say that during your questioning?
During the inside, yes,
During your questioning?
yeah,
You remember giving a deposition,
right,
the state attorney was there,
right,
the defense attorney was there,
mm-hmm,
a court reporter was there,
right,
and she was writing down everything you said,
right.
and you swore to tell the truth.
It's not that you swear to tell the truth, it's that,
Ms. Perez, if you allow me to finish,
okay,
thank you. And you swore to tell the truth,
mm-hmm,
the whole truth,
right,
and nothing but the truth. That's a question.
to the best of my ability,
To the best of your abilities,
Right.
you swore to tell the truth, just like you did here today?
of course.
Okay. Now directing court counsel and witness to the witness's deposition conducted on September 9, 2025. Ms. Perez, I want you to look and see, where is it that you say that you had told Pedro to leave the house? Any point
Objection,
of that
improper
page?
impeachment.
Sustain.
Can you
Hold on,
point
no,
to
no,
me?
she's gonna re-ask the question.
Can you?
Where in this deposition did you
Same
tell
objection.
Pedro, where in the deposition did you tell Pedro to leave the house?
Same objection.
Sustain.
I
Hold
cannot
on,
see,
No.
we're gonna have to re-ask the question.
okay, ma'am.
Judge, may we go sidebar?
Yeah, they must be over there talking about how aggressive she is, boy. And the mom, she trying to get back at her, but y'all know they had brought the mama in there like twice before she even took the stand in regards to questioning. I don't understand. It would seem like they would have had all of that kind of like hashed out at that point in time, but I guess not because yeah, this is like fireworks. In that regards. Wow. You say you getting in your steps? Well, that's always a good thing to do, Baka. Always a good thing. Yeah. Interesting. So I guess we'll see what they come up with in regards to this. But the mom is, she didn't have the ability to testify to those injuries. I wonder, and I'm assuming that they're putting on all these witnesses to support her DV claim. But is the defense doing this only so they can try to make sure she doesn't testify? I think that her facial expressions alone will probably turn the jury off. Thank goodness the judge did kind of tell her to be mindful of how she is, her facial expressions, as far as her rolling her eyes, looking up in the sky, different things that she was doing, gestures over there while people were testifying, because I think that could be more harmful for her than actually good. And if she gets on the stand and she's like that and she hasn't taken the Take It to Trial cry class, this is going to go horribly, horribly wrong if they put her on the stand. So I think that they're really trying to do everything that they can to possibly avoid her having to face that cross-examination, because you can see our girl here, our prosecutor, she is not playing in regards to getting this stuff out any way, shape, form, or fashion and trying to twist it. So, yeah. Just so everybody have a heads up, in regards to this evening, I am going to do an update on the police officer case that we were handling in New York, the correctional officer gang unit that's currently on trial. I am going to do a live update on that. I will do that here on Rumble. I don't know when the YouTube stuff will be fixed, but I am going to do a live here on Rumble later.
Where on this page do you say, I told Pedro to get out? Page 70. And please let us know when you're done with the page.
Okay, what about it?
Do you see on this page 70 where you stated that you told Pedro to get out of the house? It's a yes or no?
We're not even in the house at this point. You're asking me at 1:30.
Where on this page do you mention that you told Pedro to get out of the house? It's just yes or no.
What is this in reference to, ma'am?
Okay.
That's why I'm confused, because
Okay.
I'm not in the
We're
house
going
at
to
this
start
time.
with this line
Mhm.
where it says, starting on line 23, let's talk about the actual incident night.
Mhm.
And I want you to start reading from there.
Yeah, it says I got there at 1:30.
So the question is,
Yes,
question
ma'am.
about tell us what happened that day.
Right,
Okay, review the pages in front of you.
right.
Did you ever inform the lawyer who was questioning you
That you told Pedro to get out of the house?
I never got a chance to tell him anything. That's the truth.
Ms. Perez?
That's your answer. Let's ask another question. If you have another question.
Okay.
So no. Okay. So now you were also asked about coming to get Daisy after the pistol whipping situation.
Right.
You weren't present when that happened, right, Ms. Perez?
No, I wasn't.
You don't know how it happened?
Um, Not based on my own knowledge, no, I wasn't here, I wasn't there.
You don't know where it happened?
Nope.
You don't know the context of that whole pistol whipping situation, right?
Well, I knew about it, but not because I was there. Someone told me, the other party that was there.
And that someone that told you was your daughter.
No, my nephew also told me,
Okay, but you only know from what they
Right.
told you because you weren't there.
of course.
Now, you live in Texas, correct?
Yes,
And you lived in Texas since 2011, is that
right.
right?
Mhm.
And Daisy has lived in Homestead since 2011, you would say.
Since she was born,
So since she was born, so
Right.
that's a yes.
of course.
Okay, so, and your relationship with Daisy isn't close, you would say?
Well, we talk every day almost.
Okay. you
Even
talk-
though we're far away, yeah.
But you don't know about the relationship with her and Pedro on a daily basis?
Only verbally, by conversation.
Only what she tells you?
Right,
And you would actually speak to Pedro on different times?
yes, I do.
You had a good relationship with Pedro, a consistent relationship with Pedro, I would say.
It wasn't good, and it wasn't consistent, but I did keep a relationship with him as well.
He would call you.
Right.
Now, you were also asked about the date of incident. So
Mhm.
you came down to get Daisy and pack up, right?
Yeah, that was the plan.
But then you mentioned you were going to have a barbecue the day after.
And,
So were you having a barbecue or were you trying to get her out of Miami fast?
the barbecue has nothing to do with how I was gonna get her out. I mean, we were gonna have a barbecue as a family.
So I'm just trying to
Yeah.
figure out at what time between you coming to Miami and you having the barbecue, what time are you packing?
Off and on, she already had stuff all over the floor to wash and everything. We're not making it obvious that she's trying to leave. It's supposed to be like nobody's gonna know.
Okay, you
Yeah.
also mentioned you saw Pedro that day, is that right?
Are you talking
The
about?
night of he was shot.
Yes,
Isn't it true, Ms. Perez, that Pedro was the one who got the rental for your daughter?
yeah, the truck was still in his name.
So he was the one who got the rental for your daughter?
Right.
And isn't it true, Ms. Perez, because you were there, that they were driving up and down together?
No, they arrived together at the apartment. I don't know if they were up and down. He didn't even know I was here.
We'll break it down then.
Okay.
When they arrived to the apartment, they arrived in a car?
Yes, and
They arrived together in the car?
they arrived together.
They were with the kids as well at one point?
No, they weren't with the children.
So if I were to show you great camera footage before he was shot with him, Daisy, and the kids, would you recognize that?
I don't recall the kids getting out of the car. I recall him and her getting out of the car. So, I mean, yeah, you would have to check that.
So Ms. Perez, I'm kind of confused with your timeline. You were there at the house the night Pedro was shot, correct?
Yes,
And the kids were also at the house before he was shot.
they were with us though, not with him.
But Pedro at one point comes to the house with
Right.
Daisy in the car.
She was supposed to give him a ride home.
Okay, so we're going to start before, at the beginning. When you first get to Daisy's house, isn't it true that Daisy and Pedro arrived in the car together?
They arrived together, yes.
Okay, now isn't it also true that they were driving multiple locations together?
When they arrived together, okay, and he saw that I arrived there, and we got into that conversation about what happened to her, I told you he left with 3 men.
So he left the house.
He didn't go in the house. He stood right outside and talked to me about the incident, and then he left. He said, I called some friends, I'm
He left with
leaving.
his friends.
Right.
And isn't it true, Ms. Perez, that your daughter went to go get him from those friends' house?
She went to go, you want me to tell you why?
Ms.
Okay,
Perez, I
it's
just want you
either
to
yes
answer
or
yes or
no.
no.
Okay,
Isn't
yeah,
it true that your daughter went to
Yes,
go
she
pick up
did.
Pedro from his friend's house?
right.
So your daughter is so scared that she goes to pick up Pedro after he leaves from the friend's house?
She was supposed to take him home so he doesn't come and harm us. So she's trying to cooperate with him.
I understand, Ms.
Okay.
Perez, but isn't it true that your daughter was the one who decided to go pick up Pedro?
Well, it'd be better than having him come to the house where the children
Ms.
were,
Perez,
so.
my question is very specific. Isn't it true that your daughter was the one who decided to go pick up Pedro? He didn't ask her to go pick him up.
I don't know that.
Would it surprise you to learn that she told the detectives that she went on her own will?
No, sidebar.